Marvel sure did need a helping hand from a higher power, or perhaps a nefarious one. Who knows what rituals take place in the Disney boardrooms to attain material wealth? But I digress. After several notable flops in cinema and on Disney Plus, it became clear that the multiverse and Kang the domestic abuser weren't getting audiences as excited as Iron Man and Thanos. But whoever would have guessed that their savior would be a crass, sex-crazed murderer with an ever-spinning moral compass and severe burns? Yes, Deadpool has come to the MCU, and everything you've seen before in his previous 2 films is brought to the fore and dialed up to 11 thanks to a nice juicy Disney budget that makes the original movie look like an indie film by comparison. Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool breathes fresh life into the MCU, shattering the 4th wall and multiple groins as the merc with the mouth. He's on a mission to save his universe, which is set for destruction because of the death of Wolverine from 2017's great film Logan. That iteration was an anchor for the 20th Century Fox Marvel timeline, and without this Wolverine, everything must come to an end, including everyone Wade Wilson loves. There's a ton of exposition from the TVA explaining the mechanics of the magical bullshit which goes into this, and I'm not going to repeat it here. All that matters is that Deadpool must now travel the multiverse in search of a new Logan to anchor his reality, and in the process finds a traumatized Logan from a reality where all the X-Men died. This odd couple end up going toe-to-toe with the insane Cassandra Nova, twin sister of Charles Xavier, who tried to kill him at birth and now lives as ruler of the Void, a mysterious reality where all the discarded attempts at heroes and villains go when the TVA is done with them. There are jokes aplenty, many a well-choreographed fight, and innumerable cameos which you can start to see coming after the first surprise in the Void. Deadpool and Wolverine doesn't try to hide that it wants to be on the audience's side, cracking wise about failed Marvel projects and attempts at inserting politics into films which are supposed to have broad appeal. As a brief aside, isn't it amazing that everyone is taught to keep their thoughts about politics to themselves at a party because folks are trying to have fun and nothing ruins the vibe like that stuff, but then creators of popcorn flicks feel obliged to share these same views with the world? It's crazy that anyone was surprised it ended up biting them on the backside. Anyway, this is Wolverine's film through and through. Hugh Jackman absolutely steals the spotlight whenever he's given the chance to get a word in edgewise. Firstly, because Jackman brings pathos to the picture, anchoring the film with great sorrow despite the farcical series of events led by Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. This version of Wolverine is the most pathetic of all to ever exist in the multiverse, and failed miserably at saving his friends and loved ones. He's haunted by this, and most of the details are left unseen as Jackman can deliver a monologue alone which carries the necessary gut punch to keep the audience invested. He is the MVP of the film and once again reminds everyone why he is such a huge star. All the superheroics are delivered with ease, and then Jackman can turn on a dime and make you feel like you're watching a dramatic work instead of a comic book film. He's joined by Emma Corrin on the winner's podium thanks to a really good performance as Cassandra Nova. Personally, I hope she's brought back because I think this is a villain that could be a team-up level threat if handled correctly, rather than a one and done. I'd seen her work in A Murder at the End of the World, which was merely okay, and now I'm very excited to see how she goes with Robert Eggers in the upcoming Nosferatu. Corrin hit it out of the ballpark, and so credit where it's due, that's a real actor. Ryan Reynolds is of course good and reliable as Deadpool, but everything you've seen him do twice before is done here. It's kind of funny that Wade never goes on a real character arc as they need to reset him every time for the shtick to work in the next film. Nevertheless, it's a lot of fun, and Reynolds delivers all the best jokes, so again, credit where it's due. Unfortunately, Deadpool and Wolverine is still a modern film in the worst sense of the word. So director Shawn Levy doesn't think about moving characters about the sets. Instead, he'll simply make them stand or sit and prattle off their lines in a single mid-shot. This is annoying and is in part why popcorn flicks are no longer regarded as art. For instance, Martin Scorsese doesn't think Spielberg's work is a roller coaster ride. He thinks it's the modern iterations. Why? Because there are layers to filmmaking which are currently not present, and Levy fails here. Spielberg has consistently shown us how to make broad appeal flicks with great blocking and staging. You can find dozens of fantastic film essays on this right now on YouTube to illustrate the point, and I do recommend you research the subject if you've never heard about it. I mention this because it is a mistake to believe that art films mean movies made in French, black and white, and concerning the Holocaust. You can entertain, frighten, and thrill people, as Spielberg has for decades, audience and still be an artist and a great filmmaker. You can also go back beyond the 70s to giants like Kurosawa, Wyler, Leone, Ford, and more, and find highly entertaining films with universal appeal which are so well made even the best of the current generation struggle to match it. That's all the criticism I'm going to give Deadpool and Wolverine, because the other critiques regarding the script's conveniences are a waste of breath. It's a comic book movie. Sometimes things just happen for the sake of advancing the plot and you must go along for the ride. Else you might suffer through life as a pedantic asshole. I think Deadpool and Wolverine is well worth watching in theaters, and thank you for watching my review.